every single Jew is an Israeli. I come from a civilization that is 4,000 years old.
Right, let's get one thing straight. Absolutely no one in this world is part of a 4,000-year-old civilization. This is really nothing more than a nationalist myth, because what nationalism seeks to do is create a certain vision of the past that effectively operates as a model for how citizens should behave in the modern era, and also in the cases of examples like Israel, operates as justifications for their crimes against the indigenous people who lived in Palestine before the creation of Israel. The idea that any of us who live within the modern era, that even 30 years ago was almost unimaginably different to now, share that many similarities with people who lived 4,000 years ago is completely farcical when you think about it. However, this is one of the key parts of nationalism.
Jews have maintained a continuous presence in the land of Israel for a millennium. People don't seem to recognize that. We have made up the majority in Israel in several different population censuses.
This part of the video is bizarre because rather than simply stating that in 1882, before Zionist immigration to Palestine had really begun, there were 24,000 Jewish people, or 8% of the population, she kind of tries to make it seem as if they were a majority within the land. However, the thing is that no one is denying the fact that Jewish people lived within Palestine, and the problem isn't that Jewish people exist within Palestine. The problem lies with the fact that Israel is a settler colonial project that displaced the majority of the non-Jewish inhabitants of Palestine in order to build an ethno-state.
We are the only indigenous group in history to reclaim and decolonize our land.
This part of the video is just flat out wrong and quite frankly offensive, because the idea that the land of historic Palestine was decolonized when this was a settler colonial project that was associated and supported by all of the colonial powers. The early Zionists even thought about settling in other places like Uganda and South America, and also Theodore Herzl wrote to Cecil Rhodes referring to the Zionist project as something colonial, and also figures like Ze'ev Jabotinsky referred to the Palestinians as the native, really do show you that this is nothing more than a joke to justify Israel's crimes in the modern era. So Judaism is indeed a religion that is thousands of years old, and undeniably Jewish people have links to the land in historic Palestine. However, none of this is a justification for what Israel did in the modern era, like this video and like Zionists seek to use it. And also, going back to the first thing she said, quite frankly, I find it offensive to claim that every Jewish person is an Israeli, when I know many Jewish people who live in the UK and want nothing to do with Israel.